mommy YouTuber Ruby Franke starves her kids as punishment. A Utah mom known for her parenting advice on YouTube is facing serious charges. She's been charged with 6 felonies for child abuse after 2 of her 6 children were found to be abused and malnourished. This shocking news has left many people wondering about the impact of online parenting advice and the welfare of children in the age of social media. What could lead a mother to starve her kids as punishment? Let's find out in this video. A mother from Utah who used to share parenting advice on a YouTube channel called 8 Passengers is facing serious charges. She and a person who owns a relationship counseling business are accused of abusing and starving her 2 young children. They have been charged with 6 counts of aggravated child abuse. The trouble came to light when the 12-year-old son of Ruby Franke managed to escape from their house and sought help from a neighbor. He was found to be extremely thin with duct tape around his wrists and ankles, but he couldn't explain why. The boy's condition was so bad that the neighbor immediately called 911. While on the call, the boy mentioned that his mom was missing and his dad was not around. He also mentioned that his 2 younger siblings, aged 10 and 14, were still at the house where he escaped. The authorities later found that both the 12-year-old and the 10-year-old had suffered physical and emotional harm. They were taken to the hospital, and all 4 of Ruby Franke's children were placed in the care of Child Protective Services. Ruby Franke and Jordi Hildebrandt, who were involved in the incident, have been in custody without bail since their arrest. It's unclear why the children were at Hildebrandt's house. Both Franke and Hildebrandt's lawyers have not commented on the situation. Ruby Franke and her husband were known for sharing their family's life on their video vlog. However, they face criticism over their parenting decisions, including controversial actions. For instance, they banned their oldest son from his bedroom for 7 months as punishment for playing pranks on his younger brother. In one video, Ruby Franke talked about refusing to bring lunch to a kindergartner who forgot it at home. And in another, she threatened to cut the head off a young girl's stuffed toy to discipline her for cutting things in the house. One video even revealed that Ruby and her husband told their 2 youngest children that they wouldn't receive presents from Santa Claus because they were selfish and not responding to punishments like staying home from school and cleaning the floorboards. Ruby mentioned in the video that they did this because their children had become emotionally numb and they believe a bigger consequence was needed to make them realize their behavior. Critics of their parenting started an online petition asking Child Protective Services to intervene. Their older daughter, Sherry Franke, also distanced herself from her parents and shared her concerns on social media. The YouTube channel, which was active for 7 years, eventually ended. Police records from Springville, Utah, where the Franke family lived, show that Sherry Franke called the police on September 18, 2022 to report that her brothers and sister had been left home alone for days. Police attempted to contact the children but could not do so, and a report was made to Child and Family Services. Jordi Hildebrandt, who was involved in the incident, owns a counseling business called Connections. The business's website stated that Ruby Franke provided content for social media and podcasts. Videos featuring Hildebrandt and Franke were removed from YouTube after they were charged with aggravated child abuse. Why was Franke so controversial? The Franke family received praise and criticism for their parenting methods, which were shared on their channel. Some viewers expressed concerns about how they discipline their children. For instance, they sent their 14-year-old son to the Anasazi Foundation Wilderness Therapy Program, a program for troubled teenagers. They also took away their son's bed for 7 months as punishment for a prank he played on his brother, and they withheld Christmas gifts from their 2 youngest children due to what they perceived as selfishness. Ruby Franke was surprised by the public's perception of her as a mean mom, as she had initially been known for her relatable content that resonated with both moms and older children. In 2021, Child Protective Services visited their home due to complaints about child abuse and neglect, but the concerns were reportedly unsubstantiated, and the agency workers even sought parenting advice from Ruby before leaving. Despite the controversies surrounding their parenting style, the Franke family continued to create content for their YouTube channel until it was eventually taken down. Ruby Franke's husband, Kevin Franke, and his attorney did not respond to requests for comment, and the 8 Passengers account did not respond either. So, what do you think of the case? Comment below and subscribe for more.